guys, welcome to my first impressions video of Lush's new perfumes. Just to give you a bit of background knowledge on my experience of these, I can honestly say there is only one that I have tried, and I tried it so many years ago that I can barely remember the scent at all. As you can imagine, it wasn't until I got back from India that I just went online to the Lush site and I just saw all of these perfumes and I just freaked, because I was not expecting those perfumes to come out, and the price of some of them is very, very extortionate, like £75 for a perfume Lush. Yeah, I was umming and ahhing, do I buy, do I not buy? I really want to try them, I love perfumes, and I bit the bullet. I have bought 7 out of the 8 perfumes, and they also brought out 1 body spray. And if I look over to this side, it's just because I'm looking at prices to help you guys to decide if you want to buy any, and so on. So the only one that I didn't get was Solarium, and that's one of the £75 ones. It sounded amazing, but it was sold out. So at some point when I can sell a kidney and it comes back in stock, I will buy that one there. But the first thing I noticed when these perfumes arrived, and I haven't opened any of them yet, is they come in these little cute boxes, and it says the perfume library, and on the back it says the fragrance you hold in your hand is a piece of Lush perfume history made with nature's finest ingredients, oils and absolutes. So all of these perfumes you're going to see now, I believe, have come out in the past, sometimes as far back as when they were called Cosmetics to Go, a very, very long time ago. And so they're very, very classic smells, and I'm so excited. As I say, only one of these I have tried in the past and I can't really remember. The other ones I have never ever tried. I've seen some old bottles when I've seen some of April's videos. I've seen some old bottles on eBay in the past and I've never bought them, so I'm super excited. First time opening them, first time impressions, and as I always say on these videos, there will be full descriptions and everything once I've experienced them, tried them, smelled them in every single way. So my first impressions might not reflect now how I feel about these perfumes in a little while, a few weeks, months, etc. So the first one, these feel quite heavy. They're all 30 mils, but they feel rather heavy. This one is called SOS, and this is probably one of the ones I'm most excited about. This is £39, so not particularly that bad for a Lush perfume. But the main ingredient in this, I believe, is patchouli. Yep, it's got patchouli and orange oil as the key ingredients. Oh, no, not even patchouli, it's got dark Sumatra patchouli. Just a sound similar to Karma. I hope it's not similar to Karma. So let's give it a smell. Let's see if I can smell it in the bottle first. All I can smell there is patchouli. It's very dry, a bit more sort of like Tramp than Karma. Let's give it a squeeze. I don't know why I do that, but... So, first impressions. It's definitely more earthy than I was expecting. When it has orange oil, I was expecting it to be more patchouli, sort of spicy patchouli with the sweetness like Karma is. This is definitely the perfume that sits in between Karma, Blue Skies and Fluffy White Clouds, and Tramp. It sort of sits in the middle here. You get, so it's starting to settle now. The first smell you get is definitely the spicy earthiness of the patchouli. That is the main key ingredient here. And the first smell that I got on my skin, the orange sort of created a bubble around the patchouli. So you didn't get the zesty spritziness of the orange. You just got this fruity level or layer that sat over the patchouli. The more it's settling on my skin, the more the orange oil is coming out in a separate note. And the orange is slightly bitter and slightly sour, like again, like you're peeling an orange back and you get that spritz of orange. So it's not like a light fruity, it is fruity, but it's more citrusy, slightly tangy, slightly bitter orange alongside the patchouli, rather than it being like a warm, rounded orange smell. It's very... The word I'm thinking of is not stark, but it's very sharp. That's the word, sharp, not stark, sharp. It's very sharp smelling. The patchouli is spicy, it's earthy, it's like in your face. The orange is very spritzy, it's got a tang to it. Together, they're sort of dancing around each other, but both components are pretty much on par. The patchouli is probably slightly heavier. I like that. I think if you do like the patchouli essence, you would like this quite a lot. And the more I'm getting it now, the earthiness is going away slightly. But yeah, at the risk of repeating myself, that is very much like a sharp, spicy patchouli smell. A bit earthy, as I say, a bit spicy, and alongside that, the orange is more tangy and a little bit bitter, rather than it being warming. So interesting to see how that will continue to grow on my skin. The next one I have is Himalaya, which is another £39 perfume. Just going to get it out for you. These bottles feel really heavy. I don't really know why. There we go, there is the Himalaya. This one has ylang ylang, has spikenard oil. Now I'm intrigued because I have no idea what spikenard oil is. That's the first time I've ever seen it in a Lush product. It has another oil in it which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I will try to pronounce. Xanthoxylum. Again, I have no idea what that is, so this is going to be a whole new experience. I have no expectations. Ooh. Wow. That is an experience and a half. That is a perfume that makes you stop. Describing it. Like nothing else that Lush do at the moment or have done for years. I can tell you that right now. This is, the word actually on there, it just came to my head. Maybe I was sort of subconsciously seeing the word. They use the word beguiling, and it really is. It's like a floral smell, but there's just so much going on, and I wish I knew what spikenard was so I could really describe it to you. There's an element of fruitiness underneath, and I want to say blackcurrant, but it's not, because people might then assume it's like tank battle or something. There's a gentle, very, very subtle muskiness underneath that I wouldn't, again, I can't describe it as being like vanilla, but it's sweet, but it's very, very subtle. Like you really have to put your nose here to smell it. Oh, I really wish I could describe this perfume to you. I need another smell, I think. If you like unique perfumes, you need to give this one a go. This is not helpful at all, Jen. You need to be able to describe it better for these people who are watching and want to know. I just sprayed it all over my hand. Where am I going to put the other ones? It's definitely floral, but there's something so rounded and interesting about this smell. It's like nothing else. There's almost like the sweetness of Play-Doh. Does that make any sense? Like for those who go around sniffing Play-Doh, as we all do. I mean, I do. I'm a year 1 teacher, so. There's like it's like plasticine-y with floral. That's so interesting. It reminds me of a food as well, like custard powder, that's it. It's like got a little bit of custard powder in there as well. I'm really describing this terribly wrong. That's the worst description I've ever given of a perfume, I swear. I'm excited for this perfume. This perfume I think could be another one of my sort of staples. £39, so interesting. And it sort of tells me that Lush used to perhaps do more interesting scents than they do now. Because if this perfume came out in different formats, you'd be like, whoa, Lush, this smells so unique. That's Himalaya. Wow, I'm gonna love using that one there, I'll tell you that. Up next we have this one here, which has been one I've seen published quite a lot on people's blogs. This is Pansy, and this one is not even on my screen, so I can't tell you the price, and it makes me realise there are actually 9 perfumes, not 8, because it's not even there. How much is Pansy? Ah, there we go. This is £69. This is one of the most expensive one. and it features bergamot, orange flower absolute, rosemary oil and galbanum oil, and labdanum labdanum absolute as well, which tells me it's going to be perhaps smoky, a bit woody, a bit resinous. I'm going to find a space. Let's do my inner elbow. Let's have a sniff. I'll be honest, it's nice, but it's very floral at this stage. Now it's coming out more. Now you get more woodiness, there's more resinous sort of notes coming through. It's more warming. There's a bit of, like I say, a bit of woodiness. The orange flower absolute is quite present in this one, which I like because I love scents of orange flower absolute. It uplifts it, it gives it a bit more of interesting sort of character. Okay, I'm liking this one more now. This is a pretty smell. This is a pretty smell. I think the woodiness actually grounds the smell quite a bit. And the orange flower absolute for me is the key in this. It's a really lovely smell. I think I can also smell the food I was eating earlier. I don't know why it's on my elbow, but Pansy is probably not going to be one of my favourites, but I quite like it. It's a pretty floral smell. And it also reminds me of something. Again, I'm thinking of Play-Doh. I've just got Play-Doh on the brain. I need to not be a Year 1 teacher anymore. I've only been a Year 1 teacher for 2 terms, but still, like, all I can think about is Play-Doh. There is something slightly Play-Doh-ish about that one as well. Maybe I just naturally smell a Play-Doh now. So that is Pansy. Then we have this one. I love the name of this one here. I probably won't be able to pronounce it. This is Fantabuloso. Fantabuloso. Because a part of me wishes that it just smells of Fanta. This one here, I'm leaning forward, you don't want to see my face that close, wow. This one here features chamomile blue oil, chamomile, come on Lush, you're going to run out of chamomile soon, labdanum, resinoid, seaweed absolute, oak moss and violet leaf absolute, and I love the colour of this one, look, it's like a blue tinge. I'm slightly put off by the seaweed absolute because it reminds me of one of Volume 4 perfume that had seaweed in it. I think it was the one that I couldn't have. No, it was Volume 3. Oh no, Volume 4. It was Volume 4. There's one perfume that wasn't vegan. And somebody let me sniff it once and it was just like, no, too much seaweed. I love eating seaweed. Now this one is very old-fashioned Lush smell. If you are a fan of Lush and have been for many years, whoa, jeez. From the bottle, it just smelled of sort of very old school Lush violet. For those, you know, long-time fans who know what I mean by that. But out of the bottle, wow, the oak, is the oak moss, right? Yeah. There's like oak moss on one side. And the violet leaf is sort of integrating with the oak moss. But then there's a really strong smell of like the sweetness from the labdanum. It's settled now and that sweetness has gone away. But there was an instant, like, strong smell. This is a very wholesome smell, and the oak moss comes through quite a lot. This is almost, again, it reminds me a little bit of Tramp without the patchouli, because the oak moss is probably the strongest element here, and there's oak moss underlying that, a little bit of violet leaf to give it sweetness. The labdanum rounds it off nicely, but this is slightly earthy, slightly woody, and it's quite a heavy smell. Like, it wouldn't be something I particularly enjoy wearing in the summer months, which is not very good because it's coming up to summer soon. But yeah, that's Fantabuloso. I hope I pronounced them right. This is an acquired taste. This one won't be for everyone's liking, I can tell you that. See, now the oak moss very, very quickly has settled even faster than I was expecting. And now it's just a warm, mossy, earthy, slightly damp, woody smell with the violet leaf sort of cascading through in little streams. Oh, I'm poetic today. Yeah, I've got two more perfumes and one body spray to go through, I think. Got 2 more perfumes, I think. Next one we have, oh, I'm excited for this one. This is V, and this is priced up as £35. I think this is the second cheapest, or is it the cheapest one? This is the cheapest one of the lot. Yeah, this is the cheapest. I've seen bottles of this on eBay, but never bought them because I had no money. I still don't have any money, but I bought it. This is V, and this features cedarwood oil, Ghanaian ylang ylang, wow, from Ghana. Clove bud oil, violet leaf absolute again. This one's got to go on this hand. This one is really odd. This is a very light, airy smell. It sort of reminds me of like brand new car smell when you sit in the car to start with. Like the plastic element coming through. Just like the bath bomb I talked about in my previous video. It smells like plastic a little bit. This is not what I expect with cedarwood being the main ingredient. Like I can smell the cedarwood oil, but it's a very light woody smell. Whereas the Fantabuloso was quite strong and in your face woody. Because this one doesn't have the oak moss, it's quite gentle. It's like a pretty, again I use the word, but pretty smell. It's quite light. I can't really smell the clove bud oil for those who really don't like that smell at all. I can smell the violet leaf, but it's not a green violet leaf. It's sort of a gentle, sweet, dainty violet leaf. But the cedarwood and ylang ylang just create something quite nice and refreshing and gentle but grounded. I like the smell of that one. I don't think this is going to be one that I rave about as being incredible, but it's a nice light smell. It'd be suited more for the warmer months of the year. And for those who don't like smells that overtake everything and everyone. So if you like a sort of nice, quiet smell, I'm not saying that this is a gentle smell. It's quite strong. It should hopefully last on you for a while, but it's the scents are pronounced. I can smell the cedarwood. I can smell the ylang ylang. I can smell the violet leaf underneath there, but there's nothing particularly overwhelming about that smell. Now I think I've done this one. I've done this one? Why not? Oh, I got an extra one to do. Oh, I got two. I've done this one. Yeah, I did OSOS, didn't I? I've got one. So I haven't bought Solarium, and I thought I had bought Hairdresser's Husband, which is the smell that I have tried, but I didn't, because the Hairdresser's Husband is also £65, and I know that April says it's amazing, but April, if you want to buy me a bottle, you can always buy me a bottle. Unfortunately, I can't afford any of these, so I can't afford another £65 on a perfume I've already had. But this is the last one, getting to the point. This is Junk. I love this. The name of this. This is great. What are you wearing? I'm wearing Junk. I pretty much do. This one has lemon oil, green mandarin oil, rosemary oil, and sage oil. So this is going to be herbal, a bit more fruity than the other ones. Let's give it a go. I'm going to spray it in the middle of my arm. Don't know how I'm going to smell it, but I'll try my best. I love smelling these perfumes for the first time because it takes me on a journey. Okay, so fruity, herbal. I can smell the rosemary straight away. This also reminds me of when the old Lush bath bombs used to start to get to the stage where they weren't particularly useful anymore, and they used to all have a generic sort of smell about them. Or if you go on eBay and used to buy really old bath bombs from back in, like, not really that old, but like 97, 98, and they'd arrive and they'd be too old already, and you just get this general smell about Lush products that are too old. This reminds me of that. I like that one. There's got a bit of character there. The mandarin oil and the rosemary oil are very much there. Then you get like a little note of the lemon oil at the top, but it's not. It's definitely fruity. It's not citrusy. You would expect it to be citrusy with the lemon and the orange, but it's not. It's very fruity. And the rosemary is stronger than the sage, but the rosemary doesn't take over. Some people who don't like herbal smells or other products that have the rosemary scent don't like how strong it can be. This just enters. This just gives the smell like a light herbal underbite. Just a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of sage, bit of herbalness, nothing too much. Again, this is quite a gentle smell, and this one is £35. It's no throwaway. No throwaway for Junk. But yeah, that's the perfume collection. I'm most excited, I have to say, about the Himalayan perfume, because that just, wow. there is something unique about that one there. I'm also excited to try the Solarium when it finally comes back into stock. And then last but not least, before I go, we have this one here, which I don't believe, did the Prince used to be a body spray? I'm not too sure. I've tried the Prince shower gel. I've tried the Prince, tried the Prince shower gel before. This one has orange oil, neroli, and orange flower absolute, vetiver oil, and mandarin oil. So I sort of am familiar a little bit with the scent. I don't know why I do this, like I'm scared. Oh, Jen, actually open it. Oh, you're on camera. Actually open the body spray first before you smell it. You div. Okay. Woo! That's one thing I don't like about some body sprays is the first initial sniff. Oh, should I just stop the video now? The first initial sniff, the alcohol comes through. You have to give it a while to settle. It's just that to me, Prince was never a smell that I really loved, but I do quite like this body spray. It's quite light and uplifting. The orange oil, neroli oil coming through now. It's slightly fruity, it's gentle, it's grounding. The vetiver offers like a sweetness that sort of intertwines amongst the neroli and the orange and the mandarin. Yeah, just a gentle, light, non-offensive smell, quite pretty again. Quite fruity. I think the mandarin, as I say, is the strongest element. And the vetiver isn't particularly strong, and there's not particularly strong green element to this. It's more just a gentle fruitiness. But the vetiver does offer something that gives us a little bit more depth than just being a fruity smell. But yeah, this is a nice one, nice and gentle, gender neutral. They're all gender neutral really, but obviously men tend to choose certain other scents that women might not like and vice versa. So there you have my first impressions for all the perfumes. Mine is Hairdresser's Husband and Solarium. I will do reviews of Solarium when I finally get hold of it and I can afford it, and I will probably buy a Hairdresser's Husband at some point so I can update my review and update my my experience with that perfume, but I can't at the moment review those two. All of these perfumes I will review for you, full reviews, full scent descriptions when I've had experience with them in and outside of the house to see how they grow, when I've given them a little bit of time to settle on my senses, because it's quite overwhelming when I'm sat here with like 25 bath bombs and all those perfumes all over my body, to be able to get a really good idea of how they grow, change, settle, and obviously the longevity of them. So yeah, I'm most excited, as I say, about the Himalayan. I think that one seems to have the most interesting, unique smell. That could obviously change. I hope that my initial reactions have given you some idea of perfumes again that you really don't want, that you really do want, or that you're not sure about. And I think these perfumes are going to be around for a while. So those who are umming and ahhing, should I get this, should I not, and want to wait, I will have full reviews of all of these within the next 3 to 4 weeks. I say 3 to 4 weeks, I know it sounds a long time for some, but I'm away on holiday for 2 weeks. I will be taking some of these with me to review there, but also because I don't want to rush reviews on all of them and then change my mind about them, and you buy one based on my review or don't buy one based on my review and then find out later that actually my scent description wasn't as good as it could be. So I want to take my time with these perfumes. Really excited that Lush have brought it from the vaults, and I hope this is not the last we see of products brought back from their vaults. I do hope this is the last time Lush release products in a good 25 million years, so I can get on top financially and review-wise of these perfumes. But yeah, exciting that Lush are starting to bring things back from back in the day before I even was a fan myself, and it's really nice to see some of the original scents that Lush first came into the world bearing and sharing with everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I will try to post as many videos as I can. I do hope to do a video also on my first impressions of the recent release of conditioners, because that's been a big thing for me, is that Lush bring out new conditioners. I have been trying one out myself in my hair. Can't say that I've had good experience so far, but I will do a first impressions video on the conditioners for you as well. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Hope I haven't just shouted at you and spilled off a load of rubbish. And there will be a video soon about something else. What that might be, I'm not sure. But until next time, take care and bye bye.